Hey everybody.
Hello again. We're recording on the same day. The conversation we'll release it next week, but we continue to talk after our last episode, which
Yeah.
actually they make us think. And when we talk in general in life, we feel that people will maybe benefit from our conversation. So that's why we're here. Is what
Exactly.
I'm trying to say. So tell me what intrigued you to say like we should talk about that.
Well, because you were, on last week's episode we were talking about, we had the example where you got upset and I was listening and I was saying like I think of myself as the creator of it all, right? And you should correct me or say it in your words probably because you were saying very eloquently before, but there's a version of what you were saying is, if one person in a couple, for example, is upset, the tendency, and it's interesting because I do that, my tendency, when you get upset, my tendency is, well, you're upset. It's not me.
I got nothing to do
Yeah,
with it.
I have nothing to do with it, right? And why the conversation of last week, where if I accept that it's my fault as a creator, right?
It gives you access.
It gives me access to actually be in the situation, as opposed to, well, you're upset, go deal with yourself, like buzz off.
Come
right?
back when
and
you're
come back when
nice
you're not
and
upset.
calm.
Exactly. Come back when you're dealt with, and then we can continue having our relationship.
How many of you have something like this happen to you in your life? People are like done with you unless you're like,
Yeah, exactly.
especially women, right? Like if you're nice and kind,
Oh God.
sweet and nice and everything.
But it goes both ways, right? Because I know when I'm like, you're like, just go for a walk, just get out of here, go work outside, like just to change the energy as well, because I'm bringing something. But you were saying something really interesting, which is, if you're upset at me, right, or you're upset about a situation which I'm included, right, or I'm part of.
If I'm upset, period. Not at, but
Yes.
if I'm upset.
If you're upset, yeah. Then I have something to do with it. Or it's not just your upset, and it's definitely not my upset, it's our upset. Do you remember how you said it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I
so
do.
why don't you say it?
I do. I'll say it again. It's funny. Like I always kind of create things in a moment and say them in a moment, which makes it hard to reproduce. But I'll say how I think about it. So if you and I are here and I am upset, what I was saying or proposing, it's a point of view, right? It's not the truth. But what I was saying is that, or how it lives for me actually, is that even though it's the upset that is expressed through me, meaning like my body is the one, like I am my physicality is the one expressing the upset. The upset itself does not belong to me, Marija. I don't, like it's happening in our dynamic.
Yeah.
So in couples, when one person is upset, the way to look at it is that the upset belongs to both people. That
Right.
not even that it belongs to them, but rather there is an upset in a space.
Yeah.
Makes it, you don't identify with it, you are not your upset, but it's more like there is an upset here.
Yeah.
So even though it's coming through me, somebody's got to express it. Like otherwise you don't see the thin air, right? Like, but there's an upset. So let's say I'm upset, and I'm sorry, I'm like so visual. I don't know why, but
And I was like, why are you using my phone?
I know. I'll use my phone here. I'll actually, for figure of speech, I use both, right? Like I'm the one upset, like
Yeah. Yeah.
How it occurs to you is like you are upset.
Yeah, you're upset.
And I got nothing to do with it. That gives you no access
Yeah.
to connecting with me.
Correct.
And if you look at us as spiritual beings having a human experience, you get that even though there's individuality of like you are Jason and I'm Marija, the space of us, there's a soul space. And in a soul, our souls are connected, intermingled, whatever.
We're a unit in a
We're
very
a
real way.
unit in a real way, but also it doesn't. You don't have to be a couple for.
Well, no, this could be
to
friendship or colleagues.
to have this work. Yeah. So I'm the one expressing the upset. And by the way, usually I'm a Reiki master. Like I often would get sad, and I learned to ask people around me, like, what are you dealing with? Or with clients it comes up, in sessions it comes up. Like, I use my body as a vehicle of expressing something that people who have a tendency to shut down don't express.
Right.
It comes through me. It is not mine. Not like I'm not responsible that it's coming through me, but it is not mine. So I'm upset in this case, right? If we can look at it, both of us, not just me, if we can look at it, it's not me upset. You don't pin it on me. You get there's an upset here in the space.
Right.
Now we both have something to look at. Wow, you know, what's this disharmony all about?
Right.
And you can look at, what am I bringing to this? And I can look at the upset, and it's now not in my body anymore, so I'm calm. You can look at it and not avoid it,
Yeah.
but you can look at it and ask yourself, like, whoa,
What did I bring to?
you know, like, what's my part? Like,
Yeah. What's my part, or what did I
maybe,
bring to it, or?
Exactly, or, you know, can we have, you know, and the moment we acknowledge that there's an upset in a space, it's no longer mine or yours. Nobody's a hero, nobody's a victim, and we can look at it if there's something to look at. If not, the moment we acknowledge it, actually things disappear.
Yeah.
The moment you name something, it's not there anymore. So often, I think, and you've done this so many times that I can vouch for that. Often when I get upset and you don't add anything to it, you just see, like, it feels to me like you just see it for what it is, and you don't say anything, you don't run away. It just moves through me and out, and it's done. It's that simple, that done. I wish every couple knows this and sees it the way I see it.
Yeah, but
you know?
but it takes something. It's not, because it's exactly the moment you associate with it, right? And that's why we were talking, because sometimes you're upset. There's the emotional upset that is coming through you, right? And then the words are, you did, or like, you, why do you do this, right?
Mhm.
So sometimes I associate it with myself, and then I'm stuck as well. And then I bring
Well, that was the second.
upset.
Yeah, that was the second thing, right? Like, if I say you did this, if you look at that only as I said that you did it, you can say I did not,
Yeah.
or you can be, why do you think that I did that?
Yeah.
But that gives you curiosity. What we just discovered after the first episode was that when I say you did it, where you go is it's my fault.
Yeah.
I did not say it's your fault. You made it up. I just said you did it. I mean, you brought that thing.
Yeah, the
to
microphone, right?
You brought the infamous microphone. You're the one who brought it.
Yeah.
And on some very basic level, it's, first of all, it's not a big deal at all. But it is that you brought it, right?
Right.
And now you brought the microphone, and now for me, like, it just created a chain reaction of, like, I now have to test it, I now have to make sure it works, that will delay it. Now, what I have to be responsible for is that when you bring things like that, microphone or something like that, I have a voice, and I can be, I don't want that. I am not ready to deal with what it takes deal with what it takes to have that in my space right now.
Yeah.
Not committed to mics or whatever, if you brought ice cream or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think for me as a woman, what I can be responsible for and own that I don't like situations where I have to make very clear requests that may make me sound or look like I'm demanding too much and all of that, which is my story. So anyway, anything you want to say to conclude?
No, I think it's really great. I mean, just seeing someone's upset, right, as a upset of the relationship, or
As
upset in the
something in a
space,
space,
in
yeah.
the space,
Yeah.
you know, really provides something, an ability to get it to dissipate and disappear. It's amazing.
Exactly. It's so beautiful because it's not like you or me.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like, I think it really helps relationships in general, because otherwise we go like, oh, you have it,
A problem,
therefore, like,
yeah.
I'll deal with it or I won't deal with it,
Yeah.
and people walk away from relationships
Yeah.
rather than dealing with, upset is here on my watch.
Yeah.
And if you think that no matter where you go, the upset will be there on your watch,
Yeah.
unless you deal with upset that is on your watch, somehow, you know, you're creating it, right? Like comes back to you as a creator
Yeah.
of it all. It's your journey.
Yeah.
It's your lesson.
Yeah.
And if you learn it, it won't show up again.
Yeah.
So it's not about changing people and partners. My hair is messy. It's not about changing people and partners.
Yeah.
It's about growing into the best version of yourself, which
Yeah.
takes a lot of pressure off of like how you need to be so that I can be happy.
Yeah, I'm not upset.
Exactly, and not upset. God forbid. My hair is a mess.
It's
Forgive
okay.
me. All right, thanks.
Have a good week, everybody.